unless you've been living under a rock, you know Ducati for 2018 released its first V4 engine. You know Ducati, they're notorious for having the V-twin. I've been getting a lot of people asking me, what's your opinion on the new Ducati V4S? Mainly because I'm an Aprilia guy, and Aprilia has been basically notorious for having this awesome V4 engine. And I have to tell you, when I first heard about it, I was a bit threatened. Mostly because I was just like, oh man, you know, I mean, I personally think that the Aprilia V4 engine is the best sounding sport bike out there. And then I thought, great, Ducati is gonna steal some of that thunder, you know? And one thing I've never really understood is why there's this rivalry between Ducati and Aprilia. I cannot think of a rivalry like this between any other two brands. I don't know, it just seems like Ducati and Aprilia, you know, we're like Chevy and Ford, you know? I really don't know what draws me to certain brands. I'll tell you this, when I was, you know what, this is just gonna have to wait a minute because I'm about to hit me a fun little road here. Where was I? Oh yeah, what draws me to certain bike brands? I don't know. I started riding dirt bikes like super young, and I had to catch my breath after that. That was fun. When I started riding dirt bikes, I was all about Yamahas. I rode the 125 class that I had a Suzuki for a while. Then when I started riding 250s, I was riding Hondas. I've ridden Kawasaki's I only had one Kawasaki, and it was a piece of crap. So I can kind of tell you what drew me to Aprilia is I love the sound. I love the sound. And it's a really, you know, it's got that great race heritage, awesome chassis, 201 horsepower, and I love the looks of this bike. I love the tail end. And what I like about Aprilia over Ducati is the Aprilia has more of a racy look. You know, it's just got bolder graphics. That's when I bought this bike, I had a graphics kit made for it to make it look more racy. The Ducatis are beautiful machines, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against Ducati. The lines on them are great, this and that. I wish they did like a bolder looking graphic on it. A lot of them are just plain red, which looks great. It has kind of like a, to me, it's got like a more of a quality, elegant look. But I'm on a sport bike. I want like a racier look. Haven't taken you guys on this road before. Woohoo! Knee drag. And this video isn't really about like a head-to-head comparison between the two bikes. It's not really, it wouldn't really be a fair comparison because the Ducati is an 1100, which, yeah, it's 100 cc's more than this, and it's got about 11 more horsepower. But what happened with Ducati when they went to the V4 is, you know, the motor became heavier, which made the overall bike 11 pounds heavier, which 11 pounds, that's pretty substantial if you ask me. But I tell you what, man, with this bike having 201 horsepower and I changed the gearing on it with the race ECU, I tell you what, there's not very many people that would think they want more power out of this bike. This bike is scary fast, and I've been on bikes my whole life. What's awesome about the Ducati V4S is if you put a full titanium exhaust on that thing, you'll go from 212 to 226 on the horsepower. That's a big jump for an exhaust system. What's really cool about the Ducati motor is the motor spins backwards, counter rotation, and what that does is it offsets some of the gyroscopic issues from the wheel spinning, and it also helps keep the front end down. The thing with me is I love to do wheelies, so I don't really want to keep the front end down. You know, of course, I don't even want to get into electronics with bikes because all bikes have amazing electronics these days. There's really nothing new going on there. Probably the most amazing thing is both Aprilia and Ducati have these is the cornering ABS. That's pretty wild because I like to do track days and I trail brake into corners, which means I'm braking as I'm turning. That's right. I'll say this. I've only ridden one Ducati, and this was literally like, shoot, 8 years ago. And I don't know if they've gotten better, but that thing was the most uncomfortable. It's back here. I'm just exploring people. That thing was so uncomfortable. What I did was I used to work for Scorpion Helmets, and I used to build all their catalogs, so I would do all the photo shoots. And I had to borrow a Ducati from a dealership just for a day to shoot some photos. And I rode the thing literally 5 miles from the dealership to Scorpion, and I kid you not, my wrists were in so much pain. I was like, are you kidding me? This is unbelievable. Hopefully they've gotten better then. So what that did was it inspired me, okay, I'm going to do a comparison with ergonomics between the Ducati V4S and the Aprilia RSV4. I didn't really have access to a bike to ride it and feel it and all that. This is all based off photographs. This road's pretty boring. I'm going to go back. So what I did was I laid an RSV4 over the top of the Ducati. So what I did was I pinpointed where the foot pegs are, the seat location, the angle of the seat, the position of the handlebars. Those are all the things that come into play when you're, looking at ergonomics. I don't want to say that my chart is perfect by any means, but I imagine it tells a story. And what I'm seeing is that starting with the seat sits you forward, and it looks like about 1.5 to 2 inches compared to the wheels. So what that tells me is your weight is further forward. The handlebars are about 1.5 to 2 inches more forward. It might only be about 1 inch, but so yeah, your seating in your hands is further forward. And look at the tail section. Look how much higher the tail in the Ducati is than the Aprilia. I mean, that's really just body work, but just something I wanted to point out for you guys. Road work, slow down. I don't see anybody working today. Today's Saturday, nobody working. Alright, what else we got? You know what I always hear is Aprilia is the poor man's Ducati. And I'm like, I'll admit Ducatis are a little bit more expensive than Aprilia's overall. But let's look at the numbers really. What I think is smart about Aprilia is you can get this bike here, which is an amazing performing machine. It's the RSV4RR, and it stickers at around 17,000. The Ducati V4S starts at around 21,000. So yeah, to get into it, you're already at 21,000. Now this bike here, the RF version, which has got lighter wheels, all the suspension, and it comes in at about 23,000. Okay, so yeah, there's already an Aprilia that's the same price and actually more expensive than the V4S. Yeah, the Ducati starts at 22,000, and then it goes up from there. There's 3 models. They're at 27,000, and then it jumps up to like 40,000. Like, whew. I mean, that's just like overkill to me, There's no way that I need a $40,000 motorcycle. To me, it's more of just like a bragging right. Like how bitchin' my bike is. Like, my bike's more bitchin' than yours. And let me tell you this, with this, the Aprilia RSV4, you can get the factory Werkes edition. They just announced this thing in 2018. which yeah, that makes this bike a beast, a bigger beast than it already is. Let's go up here to Gaerne Hills for you local people. A lot of people have been telling me, dude, go up Gaerne Hills Road, man. All right, well, here I am, people. All right, so let me tell you about this Werkes kit. The Werkes kit will take this bike from 201 horsepower up to 214 horsepower. Now you've got more horsepower than the Ducati 1100. It also reduces the bike by 22 pounds. Have yet to announce a price on that kit. So yeah, I mean, I got no problems with the Ducati. I got no problems with Ducati as a company. I'm just not personally drawn to the brand. I don't know why. The two-cylinder engine just never, to me, sounded as throaty as the V4, as powerful. It doesn't have that same rough sound, you know? And the thing is, what I'm seeing in these videos and what I'm hearing these guys say, the magazines that are testing the bike, is their new V4S sounds more like their twin. And I gotta tell you guys, I was so happy to hear that, because I'm like, yes, Aprilia still has the meanest V4 sounding bike. I would think if I was a Ducati guy, I would be so bummed to hear that the bike sounds more like a V-twin, or what? I keep saying V-twin, I think it's an L-twin. But yeah, I'd be like, oh great, a V4, man, it's gonna have that really beastly sound. I'm sorry guys, but I guess they failed, and that kind of sucks. Maybe you don't care, I would care. But let me tell you what I would worry about if I was a Ducati buyer. The V4S, it's a first generation bike. It's the very first one, so there's gonna be bugs to be worked out. You don't know, you know, like, is it gonna have like transmission problems, or who knows what kind of issues can come out of it. For any brand, a first generation bike is a scary purchase, not just Ducati. That would bother. Another thing that would bother me, look at this. Okay, check this place out, man. Probably can't check it out really great because GoPros suck, but this mansion is, this Chateau Gaerne, has been here for years. Look at this property, how freaking awesome that is. Beautiful house. This property has been unfinished for a decade. If I had the money, I would buy that place and I would make this the dopest setup around, man. Disappointing. Kind of hurts to look at it. God, man, I just can't keep the front end down on this bike. It wants to wheelie for days. All right, this is where Gaerne Hills Road gets really good. I'm gonna stop talking for a minute. Come on, 20 miles an hour? I don't really know this road that well, so I'm kind of taking it easy. That's enough of that. Alright, so back to the first generation Ducati. I love aftermarket parts, and aside from maybe an exhaust, there's probably not a whole lot available out there for that bike right now, and that for me would be a bit of a problem, you know. I think so. Really, that's about everything that I have to think about that bike. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's a beautiful machine. It's got a ton of horsepower. It's got amazing electronics. It's beautiful. It's, you know, but honestly, I personally love Aprilia. You could tell me, you could have, you know, for free, you could have the V4S, or you could have the bike you have now. I honestly would pick this bike right here. Even though it only costs $17,000, it does everything I want it to do and then some. I mean, this thing far exceeds my riding abilities, and the sound is just freaking phenomenal. Ooh, look at this fun road. You know what I always worry about on these roads is gravel, man. You can't even see it sometimes. The next thing you know, you're in the ditch. Jump. Alright guys, so you got my whole enchilada about the Ducati V4S. I'm sure the bike will do very well. I definitely don't think it's going to convert any Aprilia owners over to Ducati. People that love Ducatis will stick with Ducati. People that love Aprilia will stick with Aprilia. And we'll always have this rivalry forever and ever. And whatever, that's fine. Alright everybody. So that's it, man. I'm out of here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, my videos now come out every Monday. And I guess that means I will see you guys next Monday.